Mina lived a quiet life in the small town of Willow Creek. She worked at the local bakery, waking early every morning to knead dough and arrange fresh bread and pastries. The smell of warm bread and sweet cinnamon rolls filled the little shop every day. Life was simple, predictable, and safe. Yet Mina often wondered if there was more to the world than the narrow streets and low rooftops of her town. She had heard stories of adventures from her classmates at school, and sometimes she imagined herself leaving Willow Creek to explore mountains, forests, or even faraway cities. One rainy morning, Mina received a letter that changed everything. It was thick and heavy, sealed with wax. She had never seen handwriting like this before. The envelope was addressed to her, and the return address was from a law firm in the city. Curious, she ran her fingers over the seal before breaking it open. Inside, there was a letter and a small key. The letter read, "Dear Mina, your father Thomas has left you a property he owned. You are the rightful heir of his barn on the outskirts of Willow Creek. Enclosed is a key to the property. Please contact our office for further instructions." Mina's heart beat faster. Her father had passed away years ago. He had been a quiet man, a simple worker who fixed things for neighbors and never spoke much about his past. Mina barely remembered him. Their small home had always been ordinary, filled with the smell of old books and her father's faint cologne. She had never imagined that he owned anything significant, let alone a barn. She packed a small bag, including a flashlight and some water, and left the bakery as the rain continued to fall. The barn was located on the far side of town where the grass grew wild, and the trees formed thick shadows. The paint on the barn was faded and chipped, and the wooden doors hung slightly crooked on their hinges. It looked abandoned, yet something about it drew Mina closer. Her fingers trembled as she inserted the small key into the lock. The metal clicked and the door creaked open. The barn smelled of old hay, wood, and dust. Sunlight streamed in through small cracks in the walls, forming thin beams that illuminated floating dust particles. At first glance, the barn appeared empty, filled only with stacks of hay bales and a few farming tools. Mina took a cautious step inside, her eyes scanning every corner. Then she noticed it, a heavy wooden door in the corner, reinforced with an old iron lock. It looked different from the rest of the barn. Something told her this door hid more than just old supplies. She ran her hands along the edges of the door, searching for a keyhole or a hidden latch. After a few moments, her fingers found a small worn key taped beneath a wooden beam. She held her breath and inserted the key into the lock. The door opened to reveal a small room filled with rows of boxes, old tools, and piles of papers. Mina stepped inside slowly, her eyes widening at what she saw. There were blueprints, maps, and journals stacked neatly on shelves. Some papers were yellowed with age, others fresh and crisp as if recently written. The more Mina explored, the more she realized that this was not just a storage room. It was her father's private space, a secret he had never shared with anyone. At the center of the room sat a small chest. It was made of dark wood with brass edges and a simple lock. Mina's hands shook as she opened it. Inside, she found gold coins, sparkling jewels, and antique trinkets that glimmered in the dim light. Her eyes widened and she whispered under her breath, "Maybe you really did hide gold, Dad." Mina knew her father had always been quiet and modest. She never imagined he could have collected something like this, but the chest was only a small part of the secret. The papers and maps suggested that her father's life had been far more extraordinary than she had ever known. There were notes describing places she had never heard of, symbols she could not understand, and instructions written in his neat handwriting. As she carefully examined the documents, Mina realized her father had been more than a simple man. He had been an explorer, a collector of treasures, and a protector of secrets. Every note seemed to lead to another clue, another hidden place, another mystery waiting to be discovered. She felt a thrill she had never experienced before. This was her father's secret life, and now it was her turn to uncover it. Among the papers, Mina found a journal. It was leather-bound and worn, filled with entries that spanned decades. Her father had written about his adventures, the people he had met, and the treasures he had found. Some entries described local sites she had passed hundreds of times without noticing anything unusual. Others hinted at tunnels, hidden doors, and secret rooms beneath Willow Creek. Mina realized that her quiet town had been the center of her father's extraordinary life. Hidden from plain sight, one entry caught her attention. It was dated 10 years before her father's passing. It read, "If someone is reading this, it is you, Mina. You are strong and curious just like I hoped you would be. I have left clues for you, treasures for you to find. Not all of it is gold or jewels. Some of it is knowledge, some of it is history, and some of it is a test. Follow the clues, be brave, and trust your instincts. The heart of Willow Creek is waiting. Mina's pulse quickened. She had heard her father speak of Willow Creek in the stories of the past, but she had never imagined he meant it literally. There was something hidden in the town, something her father had protected with his life. She knew then that her own life was about to change forever. For the next few days, Mina explored the barn every morning. She sorted through papers, made notes, and studied the maps. Every discovery led to another question. She found sketches of old buildings, notes about hidden compartments, and letters addressed to people she did not recognize. One map even marked locations with symbols that matched entries in her father's journal. Mina began to piece together the story, understanding that her father's life had been one of adventure, intelligence, and careful secrecy. As she worked, Mina felt a strange connection to her father, as if she was walking in his footsteps. Every clue, every discovery made her feel closer to him. She realized that he had trusted her to continue his work, to protect the treasures and secrets he had guarded for so long. Then, in a dusty corner of the barn, Mina found a small envelope with a note written in her father's familiar handwriting. It read, "Some treasures are not gold. Some treasures are the stories we keep and the knowledge we pass on. Be careful, Mina. Not everyone who seeks the heart of Willow Creek has good intentions." Mina understood the warning. Her father had prepared her, leaving instructions and protection. But she knew that adventure often came with danger, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. That evening, Mina stood outside the barn, holding the gold coins in her hands. The sun was setting behind the hills, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. She looked at the barn and whispered, "I will find your secrets, Dad. I will understand your life." For the first time, Mina felt alive. She was no longer just a girl who worked at a bakery. She was the daughter of an explorer, a seeker of treasures and a protector of stories. The barn was her gateway to a world she had never known, a world her father had carefully hidden until she was ready. As darkness fell over Willow Creek, Mina made a decision. She would follow every clue, explore every map, and uncover every secret her father had left behind. She did not know what dangers awaited her, but she knew she could not turn back. The adventure of her life had just begun, and the heart of Willow Creek was waiting for her discovery. Mina returned to the barn the next morning with a determined heart. She was ready to step into her father's shoes, to solve the mysteries he had left behind, and to uncover the treasures that were more than just gold. Every corner of the barn held a story, and every story held a secret. Mina understood that this was only the beginning of a journey that would change her life forever. Mina woke early the next morning, her mind buzzing with excitement. She had spent the previous day exploring her father's barn and uncovering hints of his secret life. Now, she felt ready to follow the first trail he had left for her. The golden coins and jewels were fascinating, but Mina was more curious about the stories behind them. She wanted to understand the man her father had truly been. She packed a small bag with a flashlight, a notebook, some snacks, and the maps she had found in the barn. The rain had cleared overnight, leaving the air fresh and cool. She took a deep breath and stepped toward the edge of town, where the first clue was marked on one of her father's maps. The map led her to an old oak tree near the creek, a spot she had passed countless times as a child. The tree was enormous, its thick roots twisting over the ground like giant snakes. Mina felt a shiver of excitement. Her father had said the heart of Willow Creek was hidden where only someone who truly knew him could find it. Could this be the first step? Mina carefully examined the base of the tree. She noticed a small hollow in the roots, almost hidden by moss and leaves. Reaching inside, she found a small metal box. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. Inside was a tiny key and a note written in her father's handwriting. "Dear Mina, you have found the first key. It will open the door to the next step. Remember, not all who search for the heart have good intentions. Be careful and trust your instincts." Mina held the key tightly, feeling her father's presence in the words. She understood that this journey would be more than just a game of treasure hunting. It would test her courage, patience, and determination. She followed the next set of directions on the map, which led her through narrow streets and past familiar buildings she had never truly noticed. There was a small warehouse she had walked by hundreds of times without realizing its importance. Now, with her father's clues in hand, she saw the building in a new light. The warehouse was old and dusty. Its windows were cracked, and the paint peeled from the wooden walls. Mina pushed the heavy doors open and stepped inside. The floorboards creaked under her weight, and the smell of old wood filled the air. Using her flashlight, she scanned the interior. On a shelf at the far end of the room, she spotted another metal box with a small lock. The key she had found at the oak tree fit perfectly. Inside the box, Mina discovered more papers and a small journal. The journal was filled with her father's notes about Willow Creek, detailing secret passages, hidden compartments, and stories from long ago. One page described a cellar under the town's bakery, the very bakery where Mina worked. Her heart raced. Could her father have hidden something beneath the place she had visited every day for years? Mina knew she would need help to explore the cellar. She thought of Leo, a friend of her father's whom she had met briefly at the barn. He had been a quiet man with kind eyes, and he had spoken about her father with respect and admiration. Mina decided to reach out to him. The next day she met Leo at a small cafe near the bakery. She explained everything she had found and showed him the maps and journal. Leo listened carefully, nodding as she spoke. "Your father trusted me," Leo said. "I never expected that you would be the one to continue his work, but it seems he knew you were capable. I will help you." Together, Mina and Leo studied the maps and notes. They traced the lines and symbols, deciphering the clues that led to hidden tunnels, secret rooms, and overlooked corners of the town. Every discovery revealed a new layer of Thomas's secret life. He had been not only a collector of treasures, but also a guardian of knowledge. He had hidden rare books, old artifacts, and even historical documents that could have changed the understanding of the town's history. Their first joint adventure took them to the bakery cellar. Leo helped Mina move a large crate that blocked a small door in the corner. Behind it, a spiral staircase descended into darkness. Mina's flashlight illuminated the steps, revealing stone walls covered in faint markings and symbols. "Be careful," Leo whispered. "Your father left instructions for these passages. He knew someone might try to follow them." Mina nodded, feeling both fear and excitement. Together, they descended into the cellar. The room at the bottom was small but filled with shelves of old books, manuscripts, and small boxes containing delicate objects. Mina's hands shook as she touched the spines of the books. These were treasures her father had protected, hidden away from the world. One box contained letters from people her father had helped over the years. Another held artifacts from the town's past, objects that had been lost or forgotten. Mina realized the true value of her father's work. It was not the gold or jewels, but the preservation of history, stories, and knowledge that mattered most. While exploring, Mina found a small note tucked inside a book. It read, "To find the heart of Willow Creek, you must follow your curiosity, trust your heart, and never give up. Some may try to trick you, but you have the strength to continue. Thomas." Mina felt a deep connection to her father as she read the words. She understood that he had believed in her long before she believed in herself. The thought gave her courage. She knew the journey would not be easy, but she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Over the next few days, Mina and Leo continued to follow the clues. They visited old buildings, secret tunnels, and hidden chambers, uncovering objects and notes that revealed more about Thomas's adventures. Each discovery brought them closer to the heart of Willow Creek. Each clue required careful thought, patience, and sometimes a leap of faith. One evening, as they rested in the barn, Mina asked Leo, "Did my father ever talk about me when he was alive?" Leo smiled softly. "He believed you would be strong enough to continue his work. He left everything for you, knowing that you would find it and protect it. He trusted you more than anyone else." Mina felt a surge of determination. She realized that this journey was not just about finding treasures or secrets. It was about honoring her father's life, understanding his choices, and discovering her own courage. She was no longer just a girl from Willow Creek. She was part of something much greater. As the days passed, Mina grew more confident. She learned to read the symbols on her father's maps, interpret the notes, and anticipate the challenges that might come her way. She and Leo formed a strong team, each bringing skills and insight that complemented the other. Mina's curiosity and determination guided their decisions, while Leo's experience and knowledge provided wisdom and safety. Together they uncovered more treasures, from old coins to rare manuscripts. Each object had a story, and Mina recorded everything in her own notebook. She realized that the real treasure was not the gold or jewels, but the history her father had preserved. It was the knowledge, the stories, and the memories that mattered most. One afternoon, Mina discovered a small key hidden inside a false bottom of an old chest. The key was delicate, unlike any she had seen before. A note beside it read, "This key will open the chamber where the heart of Willow Creek is kept. Use it wisely. Your journey is almost complete, but caution is needed. Thomas." Mina held the key carefully, feeling the weight of her father's trust. She knew that the final stage of their adventure was near. The heart of Willow Creek was within reach, but they had to proceed carefully. Mina understood that the journey was not just about discovery, but about responsibility, courage, and protecting what her father had safeguarded for so long. As the sun set over Willow Creek, Mina and Leo returned to the barn. Mina placed the key in her pocket, her mind racing with possibilities. The adventure was far from over, but she felt ready. She had learned from her father's notes, followed his clues, and discovered treasures beyond imagination. Now she was prepared to face the final challenges and uncover the heart of Willow Creek. Mina looked around the barn, feeling a sense of pride and excitement. She had stepped into her father's world and discovered secrets that had been hidden for years. The journey had tested her courage, patience, and intelligence. It had connected her to her father in ways she had never imagined. And she knew that the best part of the adventure was still ahead. With a determined smile, Mina whispered to herself, "I will find the heart, Dad. I will finish what you started and protect your secrets." She felt ready to continue, ready to face the unknown, and ready to uncover the greatest secret her father had ever left behind. The next morning, Mina woke with a sense of purpose. The key she had found in the false bottom of the chest weighed lightly in her pocket, but the responsibility it represented felt heavy. She knew that the heart of Willow Creek was close, yet she also understood her father's warning. Not everyone who sought it had good intentions. She had to be careful. Mina met Leo at the barn, and they spent hours planning their next move. The maps her father had left indicated that the final steps of the journey were within the town itself, hidden in plain sight. They traced their route through streets, alleys, and old buildings, carefully marking every location and symbol. "The final chamber might be hidden beneath a building," Leo said. "We need to look for anything that could hide an entrance, a trapdoor, or a passage." Mina nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and caution. They began with the old town hall, a place Mina had visited many times for town events. Nothing seemed unusual at first, but as they examined the building closely, Mina noticed a pattern in the floor tiles. Some tiles had faint scratches forming shapes that matched the symbols on her father's map. "This must be it," she whispered. She pointed to a tile in the corner of the room. Carefully, Leo lifted it, revealing a small metal ring attached to a hidden latch. Mina pulled gently, and a portion of the floor slid open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into darkness. They exchanged a glance. The adventure had reached a critical stage. Mina took the first step down, holding her flashlight tightly. Leo followed, making sure she was safe. The air was damp and cool, and the stone walls glistened with moisture. They moved quietly, aware that any sudden noise could alert others. At the bottom, they entered a small chamber. It was lined with shelves filled with objects, old books and boxes similar to what Mina had found in the barn. Each item seemed carefully preserved. Mina's heart raced as she explored. This was clearly a place her father had used to safeguard treasures and important knowledge. As they examined the shelves, Mina heard a faint noise above them. She froze and motioned for Leo to be silent. The sound grew louder, footsteps echoing on the floor above. Mina's father's warning returned to her mind. Some people might try to take the treasures for themselves. Leo whispered, "We are not alone. Someone is searching for the heart too." Mina's mind raced. They needed to secure the chamber and protect the treasures. Carefully, they moved some objects to create a hidden area, covering the entrance with a false panel. Mina's father's notes had described this method, and now it was coming in handy. They waited silently as the footsteps passed above. When the sound faded, Mina let out a quiet breath. "We need to be quicker," she said. "We cannot waste any more time. Whoever is looking for the heart may be closer than we think." Leo nodded. "Your father prepared this for you, Mina. He knew you would be ready for challenges like this. Trust yourself." Encouraged, Mina continued to study the maps and notes. She realized that the heart of Willow Creek was not just a physical treasure. It represented history, knowledge, and the careful protection of important secrets. The gold and jewels were only part of the story. The real treasure was the legacy her father had preserved. Over the next few days, Mina and Leo explored other locations marked on the maps. They visited abandoned warehouses, forgotten tunnels beneath old buildings, and even a small island in the creek that had once been used for town gatherings. Each site revealed more clues, more objects, and more evidence of her father's careful planning. One afternoon, while examining a hidden compartment in an old library, Mina found a letter addressed to her. Her father had written it years ago, anticipating that she would one day follow his path. "Dear Mina, if you are reading this, you have proven your courage and curiosity. The heart of Willow Creek is near, and it will require wisdom to uncover. Trust your instincts and never underestimate the importance of history. Some may try to deceive you, but you are stronger than they are." Mina held the letter close to her heart. She felt a connection to her father stronger than ever. He had trusted her, guided her, and prepared her for this moment. The thought filled her with both pride and determination. Later that evening, as they returned to the barn, Mina noticed movement in the shadows near the edge of the property. Two figures were standing near the trees, watching the barn. Mina signaled to Leo and they moved quietly to a safer spot. "We are being watched," Leo said. "They must be following the clues too." "We need to be careful," Mina nodded. She understood that their adventure had taken on a new level of danger. The heart of Willow Creek was close, and others were determined to find it. But she also knew that she and Leo were ready to face whatever challenges came their way. The next day, they decided to return to the barn and prepare for the final stage of their journey. Mina carefully arranged the objects they had collected and reviewed the maps once more. She realized that the next step required entering a hidden chamber beneath the barn itself. Her father's notes described it as a place where the heart of Willow Creek had been kept, safe from anyone who would misuse it. Mina felt a mixture of fear and excitement. She had grown confident in her abilities, but the unknown still loomed large. She took a deep breath and turned to Leo. "Are you ready?" she asked. Leo smiled. "We have come this far. We are ready for whatever comes next." Using the maps and notes, they located a section of the barn floor that appeared ordinary, but contained a hidden latch. Mina inserted the small key she had found, and the floor panel lifted silently. Beneath it was a spiral staircase descending into darkness. Mina led the way, her flashlight illuminating the stone walls covered in ancient markings. Leo followed closely, making sure she was safe. At the bottom, they found a chamber larger than any they had seen before. It was filled with treasures from all over the world. Golden artifacts, rare manuscripts, and delicate objects carefully preserved. At the center of the room was a pedestal with a glowing orb resting on it. Mina approached cautiously. Her father's notes indicated that this was the heart of Willow Creek. She reached out and touched the orb, feeling a warm, comforting energy spread through her hands. A note lay beside it, written in her father's handwriting. "The heart of Willow Creek carries the stories of those who came before you. Guard it well, for it is the greatest treasure of all. Thomas." Mina felt a sense of awe. This was more than she had imagined. The heart was not just an object. It was a symbol of her father's life, his work, and the legacy he had entrusted to her. Suddenly, they heard voices from above. Someone was trying to enter the barn. Mina and Leo quickly moved to hide the chamber and secure the treasures. Using clever traps her father had described, they managed to prevent the intruders from finding the heart. Mina realized that her father had prepared for this possibility. Every trap, every hidden panel, every clue had been designed to protect the treasures from the wrong hands. As the intruders left, defeated, Mina took a deep breath. She looked around the chamber, feeling a deep sense of responsibility. The adventure was far from over, but she had proven herself capable. She was ready to continue her father's work and protect the heart of Willow Creek. That night, Mina and Leo returned to the barn, exhausted but triumphant. Mina held the glowing orb close and whispered, "Thank you, Dad, I understand now. I will protect your secrets." She knew that the journey had changed her forever. She was no longer just a girl from Willow Creek. She was a guardian of history, a seeker of treasures, and a protector of stories. And the heart of Willow Creek was now in her care, ready for the next chapter of its long and remarkable story. The morning sun streamed through the cracks in the barn walls as Mina and Leo prepared for the next stage of their journey. They had uncovered most of the clues, collected treasures, and learned the secrets of Willow Creek, but the heart of Willow Creek still awaited them. Mina felt both excitement and a nervous anticipation. This would be the most important step, the moment where her father's entire plan would finally become clear. Mina checked the maps once more. Her father's handwriting marked a location beneath the barn itself. She remembered the spiral staircase they had discovered previously, and realized that the heart was closer than she had imagined. The room beneath the barn had remained hidden for years, preserved by her father's clever design. Now it was their turn to enter. Leo watched her carefully. "Are you ready for what lies ahead?" he asked. Mina nodded. "I have to be. This is what Dad wanted me to find." Using the key she had found in the false bottom of the chest, Mina unlocked the final panel on the barn floor. A faint creak echoed as the wood shifted, revealing the hidden staircase once more. They descended slowly, the air cool and still around them. Mina's flashlight illuminated the stone walls, revealing carved symbols that seemed to glow faintly in the dim light. Each marking told a story, but Mina did not have time to read them all. She focused on the path ahead. At the bottom, the chamber opened into a large circular room. Mina gasped. The space was filled with treasures more than she had imagined. Golden artifacts, ancient manuscripts, rare paintings, and intricate sculptures were carefully arranged on shelves and tables. Every item seemed to have a purpose, a story that her father had protected. At the center of the room was a pedestal with the glowing heart of Willow Creek resting upon it. Mina approached slowly, her hand outstretched. The orb pulsed with a soft light, warm and comforting. She could feel her father's presence, as if he were guiding her through every step. Beside the pedestal lay a note in Thomas's familiar handwriting. "The heart of Willow Creek is not only treasure, but history, memory, and trust. Guard it carefully, for it carries the stories of those who came before. Only those with courage and wisdom can hold it." Mina's hands trembled as she lifted the orb. Its warmth spread through her body, filling her with a sense of purpose. She understood now that her father had created this journey not only to test her, but also to teach her the value of responsibility, courage, and preservation. Suddenly, the quiet of the chamber was broken by footsteps above. Mina froze. The sound was deliberate, cautious, but unmistakable. Someone had found the barn and was searching for the heart. She turned to Leo. "They are here," she whispered. Leo nodded. "We need to hide the treasures and protect the heart. Your father left instructions for this exact moment." Together they moved swiftly. Mina and Leo used panels and traps described in Thomas's notes to conceal the valuable items. They activated hidden mechanisms that disguised the pedestal and created false walls that made it difficult to see the heart. Mina's heart raced as the footsteps grew louder, echoing in the barn above. The intruders entered the barn, searching carefully. Mina and Leo stayed hidden, observing their movements. The strangers were clearly after the treasures. Not understanding the importance of the heart, they had no idea that the treasures were protected not only by locks but also by clever traps and secret passages. Mina held her breath as the intruders examined the barn. One of them moved toward the staircase leading down to the chamber. Mina whispered instructions to Leo, and together they triggered a hidden mechanism. A section of the floor shifted, blocking the staircase and preventing the intruders from descending. The intruders cursed and searched elsewhere, unaware that the heart was right below them. Mina felt a mix of fear and triumph. Her father's planning had prepared her for this moment, and she realized the value of his careful foresight. After the intruders left, Mina and Leo emerged from their hiding spot. Mina looked at the heart, feeling a deep sense of awe and responsibility. She understood that her father had entrusted her not only with treasures but with history, knowledge, and a mission to protect the legacy of Willow Creek. "This is incredible. Mina said softly. Dad left all of this for me to find, to understand, and to protect. Leo nodded. He knew you were ready. You have proven yourself capable and wise. Now the heart is yours to guard. Over the next few days, Mina and Leo explored the chamber more thoroughly. They cataloged the artifacts, examined the manuscripts, and recorded the stories written in the journals. Every object had a purpose, a lesson, or a memory. Mina realized that the true treasure was the knowledge her father had preserved and the trust he had placed in her. While exploring, Mina found a series of small, hidden compartments around the chamber. Each contained additional notes from her father, explaining the history of the objects and the importance of preserving them. One note read, "Each treasure carries a story, a memory, or a lesson. Protect them with care, for they represent not only wealth but the wisdom of generations." You are the guardian now, Mina. Guard the heart, guard the past, and guide the future. Mina felt the weight of responsibility, but she also felt a sense of pride and purpose. She was no longer just a girl from Willow Creek. She was part of a story that spanned generations, entrusted with a mission to protect treasures and knowledge that could have been lost forever. One evening, as they rested in the chamber, Mina and Leo discussed their next steps. They realized that while they had protected the heart from immediate danger, the knowledge of its existence might eventually attract more attention. Mina knew they had to plan carefully for the long term. "We need a system to keep the chamber safe," Leo said. "We can't rely on the traps alone. We should document everything and create hidden backups of the most important information." Mina agreed. She began creating a detailed record of every object, note, and manuscript in the chamber. She labeled each item carefully, describing its history, significance, and location. The process took days, but Mina was determined to honor her father's trust. During this time, Mina also discovered a hidden section of the chamber that had not been mentioned in any of the previous notes. It was a small, concealed room behind a false wall, accessible only by a secret latch. Inside, she found personal items belonging to her father, photographs, letters, and mementos from his life before Willow Creek. She realized that Thomas had wanted her to know not only about his adventures, but also about the man he had been, the memories he had cherished, and the love he had held for his family. Mina felt a deep connection to her father as she explored the room. She understood that his life had been full of courage, curiosity, and care for others. His actions had shaped the town, preserved history, and created a legacy that now rested in her hands. By the time Mina and Leo had finished documenting the chamber, they felt a sense of accomplishment. The heart of Willow Creek was safe, the treasures were organized, and the knowledge was preserved. Mina knew that her journey was far from over, but she had reached a crucial milestone. She had proven herself capable, courageous, and wise enough to protect her father's legacy. As they ascended the staircase back into the barn, Mina looked around at the familiar walls and dusty hay. The barn no longer seemed ordinary. It had become a gateway to history, adventure, and discovery. Mina realized that her father had left her not only treasures but a purpose, to protect, preserve, and continue the story of Willow Creek. Mina held the glowing orb close as the sun set, casting golden light across the barn. She felt her father's presence guiding her, encouraging her, and trusting her. She whispered softly, "I will guard the heart, Dad. I will honor your life and protect your secrets." Leo smiled at her. "You have done well, Mina. Your father would be proud. The journey is not over, but you are ready for whatever comes next." Mina nodded. She knew he was right. The adventure had tested her courage, intelligence, and patience. It had taught her the value of history, knowledge, and responsibility. Now she was ready to face the final chapter of her journey and secure the heart of Willow Creek for the future. The morning after Mina and Leo secured the chamber, the town of Willow Creek was quiet. A soft mist covered the fields and the barn stood tall, guarding its secrets beneath the old wooden floor. Mina stood outside watching the sunlight break through the fog. She felt a calm strength inside her. The long search for her father's truth had changed her forever. Inside the barn, the glow of the heart of Willow Creek still pulsed faintly. Mina kept it hidden in a secure box wrapped in layers of protective glass and cloth. She had read every note her father left, and she understood that the heart was more than a treasure. It was a symbol of hope, of wisdom, and of history that connected generations. Leo walked in carrying 2 cups of coffee. He placed one beside her and said, "You have been quiet all morning. Are you thinking about your father again?" Mina nodded. "Yes, I think about how much he planned. He didn't want to leave behind gold or riches for himself. He wanted to leave behind something that could teach and protect people. The heart was never just about treasure. It was about trust," Leo smiled. "And he trusted you to finish what he started." Mina looked at the barn. "I want to do more than protect it. I want to share what I have learned. But I must do it carefully. If people find out too soon, they might come looking for the heart again." Leo agreed. "You could rebuild your father's workshop and create a small museum. You can display some of the harmless artifacts, but keep the true treasures hidden. That way people can learn about history without knowing what lies beneath." Mina thought about it and realized Leo was right. Her father had loved to teach. He would have wanted others to appreciate history and culture. It was time to continue that legacy. Over the next few days, Mina began transforming the barn. She cleaned out the old equipment, repaired the roof, and arranged parts of her father's collection for display. She placed simple items on shelves like coins, maps, and farming tools, each with a small note explaining their importance. She wanted the place to feel welcoming, not secretive. Leo helped her set up a new sign near the entrance that read, "Willow Creek Heritage Barn." It became a place for townspeople and travelers to visit. People came with curiosity, and Mina greeted each of them with warmth and stories about her father's love for history. As the days passed, more visitors came. The barn became a local attraction, but only Mina and Leo knew the truth of what lay beneath the wooden floor. Mina kept a careful watch, always ensuring that no one discovered the hidden staircase or the secret chamber below. One evening, after closing the barn for the day, Mina heard a faint noise from below. It was a soft vibration, almost like the hum of a distant tune. She hurried down the staircase to the chamber. The heart of Willow Creek glowed brighter than before. It pulsed slowly, lighting the walls with a golden shine. Mina placed her hand near it. The warmth spread through her fingers, and she felt something different. A soft voice seemed to echo in her mind. It was her father's voice. "My brave Mina, you have done well. You have protected what I could not. You have given life to my dreams and purpose to my work. The heart is safe because of you." Tears filled Mina's eyes, but she smiled. She understood that it was not magic or ghosts, but her father's recorded message built into the device. He must have created it years ago, knowing that she would find it one day. The message continued. "If you are hearing this, it means you have found the truth. You now carry the responsibility I once carried. Do not let greed or fear guide your choices. Protect knowledge. Share kindness. And remember that true treasure lies in understanding, not possession." The light of the heart dimmed slightly, then returned to its normal soft glow. Mina stood quietly for a long time. The words filled her heart with peace and pride. The next morning, she decided to visit the town's library. She met the head librarian, an elderly woman named Clara, and told her about her plan to donate a collection of her father's old writings. Mina explained that her father had been researching ancient history and wanted his notes to be available to future generations. Clara was delighted and promised to create a special section in the library named after Thomas. Soon, Willow Creek began to change. Visitors came to learn about the town's past. School sent students to Mina's barn to study old farming techniques and local legends. The people started to feel proud of their small town again. They saw it not just as a quiet farming village, but as a place of history and knowledge. Leo often told Mina, "Your father would be proud. You have turned his dream into something real. You did not just protect his secret, you built something greater." Mina smiled every time she heard that. She knew Leo was right. Her father's spirit lived in every stone, every map, and every memory she preserved. One day, a storm rolled through Willow Creek. The rain was heavy and the winds were strong. Mina and Leo rushed to the barn to make sure the artifacts were safe. The roof creaked and water began to drip through the cracks. Mina covered the displays with sheets and moved the important documents to safety. She felt the weight of responsibility again, but she refused to give in to fear. After the storm passed, she inspected everything. The barn was safe, but the secret staircase had become visible because part of the floor had shifted. She looked at it carefully, realizing that one day the secret might be discovered. Leo saw her worried expression. "We can fix it," he said. "But maybe one day it will not be our secret anymore. Maybe one day when the world is ready, the story of the heart can be shared. Mina nodded. Yes, but not yet. The world must first learn to value wisdom over wealth. Until then, the heart must remain hidden. Together they repaired the floor and reinforced the chamber entrance. Mina placed another note beside the heart, written in her own handwriting. It said, "To whoever finds this in the future, know that this place holds more than gold. It holds stories, memories, and the spirit of those who believed in learning and truth. Protect it as I have protected it. Let knowledge be your guide." Years passed and Mina grew older. The barn continued to stand strong and the people of Willow Creek continued to visit. The story of Thomas and his daughter became a quiet legend among the townsfolk. No one knew the full truth, but everyone felt that the barn held something special. Mina never stopped taking care of the place. Even when her hair turned silver, she visited the chamber often, sitting beside the glowing heart, speaking softly to her father as if he were still beside her. Leo stayed by her side, helping her maintain the barn and protect its secrets. Together they built something that would last for generations. One peaceful evening, Mina stood outside watching the sun set behind the hills. The golden light spread across the fields and the barn glowed warmly. She smiled, feeling her father's presence around her. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying the same words she had once heard in the chamber. "My brave Mina, you have done well." She closed her eyes and whispered back, "Thank you, Dad." The barn stood tall as the years went on, guarding its secret below. The legacy of Willow Creek lived on through Mina's courage, her father's wisdom, and the light of the heart that would never fade. And so, in the quiet town of Willow Creek where history met hope, the story of a father and daughter became an eternal part of the land.